Ladies and gents, we're back. Full strength, baby. I'm back from vacation. You guys are just back from your house.
Yep. Drove here this morning.
Yeah.
They piped that the wrong way.
I'll call the clubhouse. We'll book in another 18 for tomorrow.
Okay, they cheated on that. They fluffed their balls.
Yeah, no better time for the breakfast ball than now.
Well, I got back. I was gone all last week except Friday. And we're obviously we got to talk about the
which also,
first.
by the way, there really wasn't a whole lot, I guess, for most people to do last Friday. So you came back, just hung out in the office. Really not a whole lot to do.
I mean, I had shit to do. Speak for yourself, Jake. I had stuff. I was also, keeping up a little bit.
Trevor didn't have any stupid takes last week, so we should be proud of him.
Yeah, that was good.
Good job, Trevor.
What'd you guys talk about?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
You talked about golf being hungover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we talked about the waste management versus
Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I have an update on that. You know how I said that I care way more about the waste management than the Super Bowl?
You were wrong.
I didn't watch hardly any of the waste management.
I was dialed. I was dialed. I was really bummed. So because of the delays in waste management, and I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it right now. The delays because of weather, which is wild in itself. I never knew what round they were playing.
Yeah. Well, and I thought that so I tracked it. I just couldn't watch it. I didn't have time this weekend, right? I tracked it on my phone all weekend long. And I kept thinking ESPN was fucked up. Like, because I just followed the scores and like, there's no way they're only on hole 8 at 8:30 tonight.
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't make any sense. So,
and we've golfed. I mean, we've golfed in Arizona, yes, in November, but let's say a couple months later, like in November, it got dark at fucking 5:15.
Right.
So I'm assuming in February it gets dark at probably 6:30.
Yeah,
closer to 7.
But they were playing basically in the dark towards the end, just trying to shove the tournament in.
See, that's when they have to bring in the glow up balls.
They gotta just light the whole place. Get some stadium. If there was ever a tournament to put stadium lights on it, it's the waste management.
Strobe lights,
dude. Even just an entire
don't go with
LED
epilepsy.
red lights.
Strobe lights would be sick, but I feel like the people who are like super high or super drunk would get tripped out.
Which there were a lot of.
Yeah.
Speaking of strobe lights, waste management does actually have this weird laser spotlight thing. You ever seen that?
Yep.
So it's on the water on like 13?
I think it's number 10.
Yeah, 10 or,
turn.
Right around there.
10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
There's this giant like lighthouse laser thing that just does a laser across the fairway and shit. It's to keep the geese away.
Yeah, it
But it's
goes
like super sci-fi like.
Yeah, because there's a big pond. I think again it's 10 or 11. There's a big pond right there on the left of the fairway. And if you can imagine the light at an airport that just goes around and around, that's pretty much what the laser was. And it like goes across the water, back around across the fairway.
And it's like a giant laser pointer. So there's like this green ball going around all over the course.
That's kind of crazy.
Jeez.
Keep the birds away.
Can we get those here?
We should, yeah, because the geese are an actual problem here.
We got to get Osgood a laser.
And they'll throw up like coyote decoys, and then the geese have that figured out by now. Geese are dumb, but they're not that dumb.
Like you have seen like next to like a little water hazard, they have like a dog cutout, like a little 2D dog cutout.
Yeah,
next to
like
a coyote, obviously. But
I do think it's hilarious when golf courses get all these decoys to scare like geese away. And then the decoy gets like dilapidated.
Yeah.
So you just got like a fucked up swan decoy floating in the middle of their pond and it looks trashy.
I mean, honestly,
or a coyote with one leg left.
If I was a goose, I'd see it and I'd be like, that thing's got CWD. I want to stay as far away from that thing.
I mean, the geese they can fly in, they can just land in the water. Coyotes they know coyotes can't get them in the water.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably notice over the days that, well, this thing's not moving, so I'm just going to walk up on land, test my luck, probably send the young ones out first as a little bait, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's shit all over the fairways. Then you got goose shit on your shoes.
They just got to get like hawks. They got to like train hawks at a golf course.
Yeah.
Because a hawk is cool to look at and they'll fuck a goose up.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Actually, at this, there's like this lake in Montana that somehow there was like a toxic spill in it or something like that. And so the EPA employs a guy to just 24/7 sit on the side of this lake with a rifle.
Oh, I've
every time a bird flies into the toxic lake, he shoots near the bird so it scares it off.
Yeah.
So just get that.
They don't want the birds to die.
Yeah.
I have seen
trying to get a Tuesday morning round in before work and you're on the second tee about to hit your drive. What the fuck?
But no, it's not on a golf
In town?
It's not on a golf course.
I know, but if we did employ him.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
No,
we'll
that'd
get
be
that same guy
fantastic.
out there.
And the goal is not to hit the bird.
No.
So he's got what, I mean, minus having to sit there all day. He's got the easiest job in the world.
yeah, I mean,
He's probably got 20-foot radius that he can shoot to still scare the bird away where
Yeah.
the bullet's close enough.
Also,
on
You
the
ever
lock.
think he gets
He's-
really bored and just sometimes shoot the bird?
You have
well,
to.
Send a message
the
to
bird-
the rest of the birds.
You'd have to get
Stop
the bird.
coming over here.
Yeah, you'd have to get to sync somehow.
Yeah.
So that
You
there's
don't
no
have to be like,
evidence.
I just fucking missed. Sorry.
Yeah, or yeah. I mean, I put one right next to it and it just didn't move and it must have died of
Hey, I put one right in
toxic waste.
I put one right in front of it. The bullet must have skipped off the water.
yeah. The way the bullet hit, it hit the water and it ricocheted straight back up right in the gullet.
I mean, that's true. If the water is acidic,
And if you were shooting at a plane, it actually could skip.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, physics,
Yeah.
the law of physics, Isaac Newton. One force to another creates that force to move.
Apple. That's
That's
close,
the-
Ryan.
Golf club.
Golf ball, golf club. All right, let's get into Florida real quick.
Yeah, we'll come back to waste management.
Yeah, we'll circle back here. I did it. I mean, as you guys know, I told you.
I golfed.
I did. I bit the bullet.
We have a question for you. We were speculating.
Well,
What was your opening line when you met these guys?
I went up to him and said, "What's up, guys? I'm Ryan."
Okay.
And then they introduced themselves, AJ and Dave.
Did you say it?
And that was about it.
You didn't say any silly joke?
No,
Like,
I mean, I did.
let's try to keep them in the fairways today, guys.
I did not have I didn't have an opening joke for him.
Damn it. You guys win.
Sold.
Because, well, number one, you got to know your audience, and I didn't know my audience because there's like hedges that block the tee box from like the cart path on number one, and then there's a little tiny gap you can walk through to get up. So I walk up through this gap, and that's when I see him, right? And I can't think that quick on my feet, so I don't know my audience right off the bat, right at that time.
Fair enough.
Okay, next question that we debated. How long did it take you to tell them we have a golf podcast?
I didn't.
Good for you,
I didn't say a
Ryan.
single
Let's
thing.
go, Tyler.
for
You were
you.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, you guessed that I wouldn't
Yep.
say anything.
But I guess that you would open with a really shitty, cheesy joke. So I was wrong on
Really?
that one. Yeah.
What did you think I'd open
I
with?
don't know, something like, hey, we getting into the beers today? Or
Yeah.
Fuck no, dude. No. We introduced ourselves.
you get up there, we doing breakfast balls off the tee or what?
Oh,
By the
I
way,
think
that's the name of my podcast.
I
Fuck,
think,
2 for 1.
Find
Let's
out where all
go.
Let's go.
podcasts are found.
I think I asked them where they're from. I followed it up with where they're from. Chicago, Illinois boys. They work for the railroad, so
Fucking
they're just
fibs.
like they work 4 days on, 3 days off. So they work 4 10s. And they're like, yeah, we just fucking Dave's in-laws have a place in Florida. So he's like, yeah, we're like, hey, we're gonna take a short weekend vacation and
Oh, yeah.
play some golf.
Nice.
And it sounded like they were down there for a golf trip, but then I later found out that this was the first and only round that they were playing while they were there. So I didn't.
Still a golf trip.
Well,
Still a golf trip, I guess.
yep.
It counts.
If you golf once, it does count as a golf trip.
That is true. That is true.
I went to Arizona for a week-long golf trip and only golfed once.
It counts.
That does count.
Yep, family
count.
golf trip.
So how'd you do, Ryan?
Well, okay, so I was actually, I don't know if I've ever like relayed this to you guys, but in these situations, I get a little bit nervous
Oh yeah,
as to like, I don't know what type of guys I'm playing with. I
which
don't
is
know.
why. That's the exact reason why I thought you would say a cheesy joke to start.
No,
Trying to cut the tension because you're nervous.
Well, I tried to talk myself out of booking the tee time multiple times. And I'm like,
Why?
I'm like, fuck it. You know, the only way. So one thing that I would have been able to talk myself out of the tee time with is the rental club situation.
Mhm.
I wasn't going to pay, $100 to go play a course with some just dog shit rentals. To me, it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, hey, we got $50 rentals that are ping irons, ping driver,
Okay.
fairway woods.
Eyes or like what?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably like three letters and 3 numbers jumbled together to make the model of that club.
I used to swing the P5Gs. Or
Remember that,
they're
the old school ones.
PG5s, but they put the 5 in the middle, which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, and the 5's probably a little bit bigger than the P and the G to like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what got us the PXG deal. I just put a label maker, put an X over the 5.
Yeah, nice.
I guess how to get free PXGs.
Yeah. So I'm just like, quit being a pussy.
Find
fucking
clubs.
book it. I got the $50 rentals. I played Cove K golf course. It was about 20 minutes from where we were staying in Clearwater. Luckily, we had a rental, so I didn't have to like Uber there or do anything. I didn't bring my shoes, so I just wore these flat bottoms, which they were fine. However, the weather in Florida was not great. Luckily, I golfed on Wednesday morning, and that was probably one of the nicer mornings we had. Probably 10, 15 mile an hour winds, maybe like 48 degrees in the morning.
Yeah,
it was fucking chilly. So in between each shot, I put my coat on and I threw the windshield up in the cart, threw my coat on, and I'm like shivering in the cart. Like, dude, you're from North Dakota. Quit being a huge pussy.
I mean, it was probably warmer here.
It probably was.
Yeah.
We had really nice temps when we were going.
Jealous. So we roll up to the first tee, and I can kind of just gauge the level that they're going to be playing at right away based on practice swings, all that kind of stuff. And I knew it in the back of my head. The one guy steps up, and let me preface this entire thing with, they were phenomenal randoms to golf with. They were like, we didn't have a lot of chit chat, but we had the appropriate amount of chit chat to be like, hey, we're golfing as a group, and you guys are good guys. I'm a good guy. We're going to have a good day. First tee, one of the guys, 45 degrees right with the driver, like directly off the toe, like the tip of the toe. So that thing goes probably 20 to 30 yards into the trees. And then the next guy does the same exact thing.
Hell yeah.
Talk about a sigh of relief for you.
For sure. Because if I'm playing with some sticks, I'm like, yeah, I got the rental clubs. You know, it's probably not going to go great today.
And
so
then,
you got to throw an excuse out there right away just to deflect everything.
When you know you're going to be the best golfer, you don't have to say shit.
Yes. Okay. So
that's where the cheesy joke, hey, take another one. We're not keeping score today.
Exactly. So I get up to hit my drive, and I hit one probably 150 feet in the air with probably, for you science nerds out there, 1,000 right spin on it. So we're talking a pretty high slice.
Yep.
Into the trees, off to the right. Right when I hit that thing, they're like, holy shit, nice shot. And I'm like, hell yeah, that was a nice shot.
And then you're like, I want to take another one.
Yes, yeah. So no, I skipped the breakfast ball. I said, okay, well, luckily we were the second tee time of the day. So I said, yeah, I'm good with that one. We went up to our balls, and as we were going up to the first guy's balls, being courteous and trying to help him look for it, I see one of the maintenance guys like bending over off his cart to grab something. I'm like, he just grabbed that dude's ball. Not my ball. He grabbed the other dude's ball. So I went up to him like, hey, I think your ball got fucking hawked. And these guys only bought one box of balls to begin the round.
Hell yeah.
So you had to help them. You were searching for balls. That's something you had to have been.
I was looking for a couple balls here and there. And then I would say, things are going okay. I think at par number one, I don't know. I have one birdie the entire round. There might have been a couple of shots that I didn't count on the scorecard, but it's a vacation round.
Yep.
You gotta go back to the beach home feeling good, you know.
That was the other thing we didn't put money on. We're like, we had how many mental health shots did you take with the randos?
0.
Fuck.
No. I probably took 2. Just because. So by hole 4, the first group had let us play through. And so we're the first group on the course after hole 4, which was really nice because the other great part about these guys was like they were hitting some some of the worst shots I've ever seen. But then they would just grab their balls and they'd like come hit up by me, or they would hit a decent shot off the tee. They'd the other guy who had a shitty shot would grab his ball and then go. So it was like a hybrid scramble, if you will. So I respected the shit out of that. So being the first group out, we're cooking pretty good.
Yeah.
And the one thing I noticed was the amount of shots that these guys hit that barely touched the tip of the toe on the club and went like there was a couple shots, you guys, that probably trickled like 3 to 4 feet away.
Jesus.
But we were also we were cruising. We were the first guys. I didn't give a shit. I was having a good time. Like they were having. They didn't care. Well, the one guy started getting in his head a little bit, and then one of the most electric lines I heard all day, possibly one of the most electric lines I've heard on the course ever, was these guys were playing with the cheap rentals, and one of the guys hits a putt. It was probably a 10-foot putt, and he missed on the high side by probably 6 inches. And his buddy looks at him. He goes, "Dude, if you'd have had your own putter, you'd have made that." I'm like, it's still like a half a foot miss. Like, I don't think having your own putter would have brought that thing in 6 more inches, and you would have made it.
If you've got multiple times where you're hitting the ball 3 feet, you gotta let them have that. You're right.
No, and I did. I
drilled
did.
that shit.
I just I think the biggest part to being like inclusive in the group. And like kind of pandering towards their because they're buddies and I'm just a random. Pandering towards their BS was just agreeing with everything they say.
Yeah, and Ryan, let me remind you, you did swap putters halfway through a round at one point.
Illegal.
That is true.
Disqualified.
That is true. That is true. So there's an asterisk on that Flight 14 championship that I won. Another electric moment was, I think it was number...
Wait, to clarify, was he serious or was he giving him shit?
Very serious.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Very serious.
And I liked it.
They were poking fun at each other. Like,
that is kind of a good joking line too, though.
Big time.
Like if you would have had my putter, you'd have made that, Ryan.
Yeah, but like one guy would hit a shitty shot and the other guy would be like, "Oh, found it."
Yeah.
And it was 5 feet away.
The 3-feeder. I got eyes on it.
Yeah. So another electric moment with these dudes was we're on number 9. And number 9 is, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's an interesting hole. There's like apartment condos on the left and apartment condos on the right.
Insurance alley, they call that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And like you have to, like you don't clear the apartments for like probably the first 100 yards. So you have to hit it, I mean, straight or dog leg right.
Yeah.
Past the apartments just to like be clear. So the one dude, I mean, he smacks one right at the apartment. And then he drops another one and he hits it in this exact same spot. Smacks the apartment. Luckily, we heard no windows. Okay, so the other guy hit a decent drive. So they get up to their third shot, and now the apartments, because it's a dog leg right, we're on the back side of the apartments. They're right on the right hand side. And there's a maintenance guy. We'll call him a landscaper, I think is what he was doing. He's probably, I don't know, 75 yards away, like 45 degrees to the right. And the one dude scorched one directly over his head.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't help. Like, also, no forecall. And as much as I wanted to give a forecall, I didn't feel like I was in the right place to do that.
You have to.
I know. But again, I was like, and it happened so quick because it was a fucking screamer.
Yeah, he is only 75 yards away.
Correct.
It's not a lot of time to react.
Yeah, I mean, the ball, regardless if you hit it bad, the ball speed is still pretty good to where it fucking scorched over his head. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So the guy like stands up and the dude that hit it just kind of like dropped his head and pretend that he wasn't there at the time.
You fucking point at him.
And then he had the audacity to drop another one. And this one probably went 15 feet above the guy's head in the same exact spot and smashed the apartment building again. I'm like, all right, well.
So one hole, he hits the apartment building 4 times?
4 different times.
Oh my God.
The first 2 rolled up, the first one like rolled up, the second one hit the apartment, and then the other 2 just hit the apartment on the fly. So we were 3 for 4 and hitting it on the fly on that hole.
Holy shit.
And then, okay, so we got that out of our system. And this guy, he's so far up, his head's so far up his own ass. Like he's just mentally screwed himself. And like his buddy was trying to give him advice on like where he was aiming and shit. And I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just the random, right? I'm going to keep my mouth shut. We get to number 18, and like I had said before, these guys had 1 box apiece. The one guy had ran out of balls completely, and in the middle of this round, as we were going along the driving range, they were both hitting range balls.
Hell yeah.
just to save a little bit for future shots if things were to go south, which they did. And then the other guy had 1 ball remaining on 18.
Hell yeah.
So out of
So did you spot the guy with no balls a ball or what?
No, he just, I offered, he's like, yeah, I'm going to skip this one. 18 it wasn't like,
18?
18 wasn't like an iconic. It wasn't.
I know.
It's the last hole.
You can't play 17 holes and then just be like, you know what? That was enough.
I'm with you. But he was on balls. So I don't know. I don't know. I did spot him a couple balls like earlier in the round.
So how many balls did they give you with the rentals?
Well, so I bought a box of balls. I bought 12 balls and I bought a glove. So a box of balls, a glove, the rentals, and the round was like $170. I know, it was fucking steep. So we get to 18, and between the two, there's one ball left. And luckily, the one guy did not lose his ball. There was like ahead of our tee box was the women's on like a little peninsula. In front of that was the water, and then it was the hole. So the guy with one ball, it's par 3. He hits his ball and it lands right on the edge of the peninsula of the tee box. If it had gone 5 feet farther, it would have been in the water and they would have lost 24 balls total. Plus a couple range balls that they had grabbed.
Holy shit.
So,
and then nobody was ball hawking? Like they had to have found
I ball hawked in a couple spots I thought would have been solid, but I found nothing. And the maintenance crew, back to hole 1, they were sniping balls themselves. So the maintenance crew had probably already went through the course and nabbed all the balls.
Yeah, they got a little side business. Yeah. All those little boxes that say buy one, Pro V's $2, everything else $1 are the maintenance guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they got the $1, $2 ball bucket. So yeah, we shook hands, we parted ways. And the worst thing too is like my biggest piece of advice in playing with randoms when you're done with the round is don't say your goodbyes too soon, because then what happens is you run it, you fucking park next to them in the parking lot, and then you gotta say it again.
Yep.
And then maybe
you're standing there returning your clubs together.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what happened. We returned the cart together, we returned our clubs together, and then we also parked right next to each other. So by shaking hands, saying our goodbyes on the 18th hole, I then was right next to them in 3 more situations.
And then you had to say goodbye 2 more times.
Pretty much. Yeah. So overall, what did you shoot? Well, on my scorecard, I shot 81.
I knew it.
It was a par 70. Let me get that clear.
Still counts.
I don't know what I guessed. Did I guess higher?
You guessed high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
So that's his cheating score. What would you really get?
I would say, truthfully, I shot 85.
Let's go. I think I said 86.
I have no clue. Did I say like 90?
You said 80, like 89. I said low 80s.
I truthfully shot 85.
Damn it.
And yeah, you all can be like, why you fucking...
I don't give a shit.
No, we don't give a fuck.
Here's the thing, guys. I don't either. So it's an 81 in the scorecard. But yeah, I'm glad I did it because I kept trying to psych myself out of it. And again, if it was a shitty rental situation, I probably wouldn't have done it. But 7:30 tee time, had the rental car, could just cruise there by myself, play, cruise back. Something to do on vacation, something to break up the day a little bit. And I'm glad I did it. And again, I think we're undefeated in having like solid groups that we are the randoms in. I have yet to have a bad, and we've covered it a lot. We've talked about bad experiences with randoms. We just haven't been unfortunate in that situation yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall if there's ever been a time where I was the random and the group sucked. The only time I've ever had shitty randoms is they like joined my group. Sure.
Okay. That makes sense. I've had a couple shitty randoms too. Me and Jade had one of the most unbelievable randoms of all time. Do you guys want to hear the story real quick?
I think you told it.
So, and this was, okay. So another story, like a month after this happened, I saw this same guy at the driving range with no shoes on, and one of his club heads flew off into the range, and he ran. The range was packed, you guys, and he ran and got his club head. And it was 30 to 40 yards out into the range that he ran.
Put it back on.
And then, okay, so back to a month previous when we were golfing with this guy. It was when like the riots and shit were happening downtown Fargo. Like shit was getting kind of hairy. And he's like, yeah, my girlfriend works downtown. She's like, they locked down the business and whatnot. And we're like, should you like maybe go get her quick or like make sure she's okay. Nah, she'll be fine. It's all good. Like I had this tea time schedule for a while, so I'll probably just finish things out. I'm like,
What?
I think you should probably either you have a Manti Te'o situation on your hand where your girlfriend's not real, or you should probably like go and make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And that was one of the stories that sticks out in my head. But yeah, I had a great time with these guys, fucking Dave and AJ, BNSF Railroad guys.
Dave J.
Yep.
So we lucked out, and wish the weather would have been a little bit nicer. But once that sun came up, it was a great morning.
Oh, well.
You ever get to ask them if they use those trucks that got the little lifters on them so they can get on the railroads?
No, God, what did I asked them what they do on the railroad, and I think they said, like a mechanic or something. I don't know. I asked them if they wore the little hats, like the conductor hats. They said no.
Damn it.
So would have been cool if they like.
Do you get to toot the horn?
Yeah, it would have been cool if they gifted me, like as the random of their group, they gifted me one of those hats.
Or if they just
didn't.
pulled out of their pocket a wooden train whistle, be like, here you go, buddy.
Yeah, it's like the little wings they give on the the airlines to the little kids.
Little train whistle
I
on
would
the
have loved one of those.
Matchbox car.
But yeah, it's I kind of like I'll say pop my cherry of being the random in a group, because I don't think I've ever been a single grouped up with other people.
Yeah. I mean,
So
sounds like you lucked out though.
yeah, and it was actually kind of it was refreshing, because I would hit some bad shots that just had height on them, and they were like, "Oh, that's a nice shot. That's gonna be good." Like, you know what? Yeah, that is a good shot, even though it's 30 yards to the right of the green on par 3. Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of refreshing.
Yeah, well, it's like the whole surround yourself with ugly people so you look better.
Exactly.
Surround
Tyler.
yourself with worse golfers so you
Exactly.
feel better about your shitty shots.
Also, the amount of times that it happened, it for sure happened on the first tee box, and then it happened probably 3 times more. Yeah, fuck, first time swung a club in months. I haven't swung a club in months.
I saw.
All right, I mean, hey, great excuse. I probably would use the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you guys playing the simulator at all? No. First time swung club in months here.
Love it.
And so that was the excuse as to why they were hitting it like off the very end of the toe, 5 feet to the right.
I'm not one to judge a person's swing, but Ryan showed me some videos. These are very bad.
I have to show you.
They're very
guys.
bad.
But you will fucking laugh your ass off in these videos. And it was tough to get videos because I didn't want to get caught.
Well,
taking
yeah.
video, They're like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you videoing my swing? Whatever.
They probably knew, and now they're on their podcast being like, yeah, that fuckhead Ryan was filming all our swings.
Probably. But hey, it was all in good fun, if you will.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Oh, another one.
Oh.
Fucking AJ. He had this.
I'll shut the fuck up.
He had the dog.
Jesus, Jake.
He had the dog shit rental club, so his driver was not great. And I had the ping driver, so I was like, "Hey man, you mind if I use that driver? Like the driver I got is dog shit." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can use it whenever you want." And in the back of my head, I'm like, "I don't think it's a driver. It's dog shit."
You should have been like, oh, I hope he doesn't break the rental driver I just got.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I proceeded to hit the same shot with my driver as he hit the other ones, and then he'd give it back and be like, "Dude, this thing's way nicer than the one I got."
I had been this guy 1,000
And
times.
I loved it.
over.
I'm like,
I
dude, you
love
can
it.
use this driver whenever. You can fucking use my play out of my bag if you want. If that makes you get your head mentally out of your ass, then let's fucking do it.
Oh yeah, if I'm having a bad round, it doesn't matter. You will find me rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. You will find me doing that.
Yeah, that's actually it's maybe a good thing to do. Is like, hey, just bring an extra set of clubs with you. If you like have a cart to yourself, just play 2 bags. Play your normal bag, and if you start playing bad, start playing the other one, because then you have the excuse of like, I wasn't playing with my
Better yet,
usual
play
clubs.
2 balls while you're doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, one
And
with
then
each
play
of the
one
clubs.
bag with one set.
That's how you decide what clubs you want.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Also, you don't need a golf partner. It's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 bags on. They'll probably charge you $59.80 for that, just to put the bag on the second rack.
Yeah, you got to pay both cart fees.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. Glad I did the Florida trip. We have a lot to unpack with the waste management and Sunday Red, which was just released 2 days ago.
Waste management did a terrible job of managing their waste.
Wasted
Holy
people.
fuck, dude.
Yeah.
What happened?
You took the words out of my mouth. What happened at the Waste Management this year?
I think I can safely say that this is the first year of the Waste Management that I wouldn't have wanted to go to.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Well, number one, the weather. I mean, there's fucking people sliding all over, and when you're shit faced trying to walk on a side hill that's complete mud, things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Of course.
Outside of that, obviously there's a lot of press behind Waste Management and how it's the party tournament and people like really they enjoy playing in it and they enjoy going to it. But this is the first year where it was like, whoa, things are getting really out of hand.
Yeah.
So the big issues, right? The weather, the overcrowding of people, and the overconsumption, right?
Yes.
So I watched.
But why different than this year? Or this year than previous?
I saw a video of like a dude that's a bartender there, and take it for what you will. He's obviously not a higher up in the Waste Management staff. He just said he was working in a bar at the tournament. And so what apparently happened is there were so many people trying to get in that the ticket scanners couldn't keep up. So people were just flooding in, and there was over 500,000 people in this.
On a golf course.
On a golf course. And so the ticket scanners couldn't keep up. So there's too many people in there. And all those same people that rushed the ticket stands were also rushing the bars. So the bartenders just started handing out beers. They were getting into like the VIP tents where the beer was free. So they were just handing out beers. And eventually like the police department and the fire department came to the Waste Management and told them, you cannot give out or sell any more booze. And this is at like 2:30 in the afternoon at the drunkest tournament on the planet.
Yeah.
It was insane. I saw a video on Friday, I think, where they had a stack of cups from the first floor at 16
Cup snake
to the 13th floor. And I go, what the fuck?
Holy hell. It's like, how do you can't manage 500,000 people in a place where it's built for what, 200,000?
Yeah.
Mind you, drunk alone too.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you got to think about it. A full NFL stadium is like 80,000 people.
Right.
Like a large NFL stadium.
Yeah. And I saw videos of people trying to get from hole to hole. And it was just, you're just standing there in a crowd, shoulder to shoulder. You wouldn't be able to see the golf unless you're in the stands. So that's why people rush the stands. And
dude, and even like when we were there a couple of years ago, there was 100, 200,000 people there, and it was still shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
So imagine more than like 1.5 timesing that, or doubling it essentially. That would have been a shit show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So why was there so many people trying to get in this year on a specific day than there have been previous years? Like, do you know why they couldn't keep up with it?
I don't know. I think that was it was Saturday, correct?
I think so.
They cut the booze sales. So everyone's off. And I mean, this tournament has always been the fun tournament, but it hasn't really hit social media and promoted it to the masses, except for like the last 4 years, you know? So it's like a slow build up of this is the place you want to be to party.
Yep.
So non-golf fans are there just to get shit canned. And I mean, it's a super popular area of the country. So people are vacationing there. They're just showing up and rushing the stands, trying to get in. And it looked terrible.
Yeah. And well, now there was multiple people who jumped the rails and ran onto the course. Whereas like when we went, there was the one guy that, when we went, there was one guy that did it, and it was probably one of the best of all time, because he went from 16 great. And he dove in the water on 17, 18. And
he made it so far.
Yeah, he climbed up on like the big Waste Management like logo type deal in the middle of the water on 18. And then I mean, there's a lot of Arizona State students that'll go to this tournament. Just the big colleges down there, the fraternities, all that type of shit. Like, this is like, let's fucking rage at the Waste Management. And it was absolutely out of control.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was, but somebody DM'd us and they kind of hit the nail on the head. They wanted to hear our thoughts on the Waste Management. And then they ended their message with, this gives the shrink the game people a lot of ammunition.
For sure.
Because we sit here and advocate for more people to go and get into golf, more people to enjoy the game, and then they do, and they basically shut down an entire PGA event. Yeah,
we're all about getting out, having beers, like maybe getting drunk on the course every once in a while, whatever. But what we've kind of failed to address is like the fine line of you still got to have some some etiquette and some respect versus like just being belligerent and like, hey, this is what I've heard you do on the golf course. You just get shit faced and be a total degenerate.
Right.
Yeah.
So he hit the nail on the head. It really did give them a lot of ammunition. It's just like we said before, like we gotta, there does need to be a line. We gotta educate. Like this is just not how you behave at a tournament. It completely took away from the tournament. Like I've seen more videos and more posts about the shit show that was the Waste Management than who won, who played well. The only storyline that I really followed besides just watching the scores was Sahith.
Dude, I wanted him to win it because he finished second his very first year, the year we went.
Yep.
He I think he
and
blew
that was
it on
his, he was an
17, 18.
exemption.
Yep.
To get in. Yep.
I don't know. I would also like to. I mean, dude, whoever their security company is to manage the gates and their ticket sales, you are fucking done. Have fun with that lawsuit, dude.
But I mean, like, there's only so much that even any security company could do. If there's $500,000,
but here's the thing, man. It's like
infrastructure.
It's all infrastructure.
Fair.
And what are they doing with like their entrances and stuff like that? So okay, I'm gonna get a little nerdy here for a second. Okay, so I like civil engineering. I know that sounds weird, but I like learning about that shit. Okay, and so there's these things called crowd crushes that can happen. So when you have a lot of people in one area, any sort of movement, people start acting like waves in the water and stuff like that, right? And so eventually the waves become big enough through tightly, densely packed groups of people that people can literally be crushed and die. So like in Cincinnati, concerts,
Travis
Scott, exactly.
This happened at so there's a super famous one from like early 1900s at a soccer game where people got let in the wrong gate. And so the general admission were all pushing and like 35 people died or something like that.
Or like in the 80s in Cincinnati, there was a Who concert at like an arena there, and the arena only had like one entrance, and coming out of the entrance was two concrete walls on either side, and they had people backed up for literally a half a mile in one concrete tunnel, and like 20 some people died, right? And so people are looking at that, and like obviously they changed the concrete walls, they changed the way that you design that area so that doesn't happen. But generally, most of the danger comes from the infrastructure and how things are set up and the security company and all that shit.
I mean, it is set up, the Waste Management, it is set up perfectly fine for the 200,000 people.
Exactly.
But when the security lets in an extra 300,000, you're in deep shit. I don't remember it was on like Saturday at like noonish. At that point, there had been like 45 people hospitalized, either from alcohol consumption or injury or whatever.
Jesus. Yeah. Like genuinely, we're pretty lucky that there wasn't a crowd crush event.
Right.
Like it happens all the time. Like,
okay, so there's obviously a cap on the amount of tickets sold each day.
Yeah.
You can get the 4-day, you can get individual day. I don't know, 2-day, whatever. So my question is, like, how did this extra couple 100,000 people, did they just show up with no tickets and just like, they got a call from their buddy like, hey, dude, they're just letting people in. Get over here. You don't have to pay for a ticket, and let's fucking drink some booze.
Yeah. And you got to think about it. The majority of those people probably bought like a 1-day ticket or was still down there for the weekend. Yeah. And then came back the next day. The party wasn't over. You know what I mean?
Well, and then word gets out, like, let's say Thursday, 2 guys get in, or I mean, obviously more than two. Two guys get in that don't have tickets.
Yeah.
Then word starts to spread. You guys can just go in. They're not doing anything. Like you just keep, and then the word spreads. Everybody's telling their buddies, and everybody shows up on Saturday and just fucks the tournament up.
Imagine being like fucking Phyllis and Doris, the ones that are the 80-year-old females that are scanning tickets, just being like
trying to figure out the cell phone with the scanner on it.
I'm out of here. And they just walk over to the side and let the fucking floodgates open.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah.
And the entrance, I think there's only one entrance into the tournament.
I think you're right.
See, yeah, like that's a prime example of like you.
But the thing, it's super spread out. Like the entrance is huge.
Yeah, it's
which probably lends itself to like letting people sneak in, but it also helps with the crush situation.
For sure.
The entrance is really big.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're walking through a tunnel the size of this room. They're going, it's like 100 yards wide of places to walk in at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. It doesn't have to do with just, like, I mean, there should be more entrances and shit like that. Like, that's kind of how you solve all that stuff. But, like,
Now,
Yeah.
the other aspect of this whole weekend was the fans talking shit to the golfers.
Mhm.
The easiest way to say it.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've ever really seen this many videos online surface of like Zach Johnson getting into it with a fan, or Billy Horschel getting into it with a fan, or Jordan Spieth hitting a shot, fucking dropping his club and being like, what the fuck, man? Like, what you talking to my backswing, whatever. Do you, as a player, do you have to understand that, hey, this is kind of what you're signing up for? Or, I mean, there's got to be a lot of fault on the fans themselves too. Obviously with the drinking and the party atmosphere, that shit's going to happen. So you kind of have to expect that as a player, or you just don't play that tournament.
I know, which is shitty because the Waste Management, like the organizers, the tournament organizers, need to at least find some sort of happy medium because they're going to lose their difficulty of field.
Well,
like they're going to
peak Waste Management was 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Where I felt like the balance of rowdiness and respect was right where it needed to be.
Sure.
Yep.
And the scales tipped this year. Was too rowdy, too many drunk people. And like, drunk people are fine. You can have your whole crowd be drunk. I don't give a shit, as long as they're not like quite literally needing to shut down booze sales because people are so drunk.
Yeah, what do you think? Fucking 80-year-old Jim holding up the "Quiet Please" sign is gonna cool down the ASU frat students up on the front row from chirping the guys hitting on 16. Did you guys see the Zach Johnson video?
Yeah.
It was actually a really funny insult.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
From the fan to ZJ, or from ZJ?
From the fan to Zach.
What did he say? Fucking grow up.
He said that Urban Meyer's a better NFL coach than you are a Ryder Cup coach.
It was pretty damn bad.
Yeah, that cuts fucking deep.
Well, and I think Zach Johnson he has that aura to him where it's like he's kind of like
you kind of want to hate him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he feels like the kid that probably got bullied when he was younger. And now he's a professional athlete, and he won the Masters, and he's known, I would say, nationwide, if not worldwide. But when he tries to argue back, I just couldn't help but cringe.
Yeah.
It was just tough to watch.
You could just tell that insult actually really cut deep, and then his reaction was genuine, and he just kind of panicked in the moment a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously it's still cutting deep to this day.
Yeah. Well, they got their asses absolutely handed to them.
Yes. But is that the
It's not, I mean,
captain's fault?
Nah.
I guess with pairings and all that, but you're still got the best golfers in the world who should be able to just hop in with someone of equal level, playing level.
I mean,
and be able to
defeat always lands on a leader. Like in football.
Yep. You're right.
Quarterback, coach, they're going to get blamed way more than the
Receiver, running back,
defensive tackle. You know, no one's going to be like, well, fuck, they lost that game because the D tackle wasn't playing good.
Yeah.
Even if he did play like shit and actually did cost him the game, it's going to get blamed on someone else. So
I did see PGA Tour. They had tweeted out something like Jay Monahan was thinking about canceling the Waste Management for next year, and I don't see that happening.
I don't either, but I do think, like Jake, I think that was your point. The talent pool is going to go way down.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people I mean, at the end of the day, every single one of the golfers is there willingly, and they're there, because they want to make money.
Yep.
And if it becomes difficult for them to make money, and if the fans make it so that they don't want to be there, I mean, there goes the fun.
Even the people's champions of golfers were getting frustrated, like Ricky and JT and
Billy Horschel had a great line. It's like, he's basically shut the fuck up. Like, this is our fucking job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, would we come and stand behind you at a cubicle and
yell
start
at you,
yelling
fill out your
ear?
spreadsheet?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and
Wrong
Billy
number,
Horschel wasn't
fuckhead.
even the one. He wasn't even the one hitting. He was playing with the guy that the fans were chirping, and then he chirped back at the fans.
Yeah.
And it was
I don't know. I think you're right. I think that there's a line. Well, okay. So the video of Tiger hitting a hole in one on 16 and whatever,
before
nice comfortable 9-iron for him. They're gonna go, and the key line is they're gonna go wild when he hits this thing.
Yep.
Right. They're just wild all the time now.
Right.
It's not when the ball leaves the club face. Maybe
for the Waste Management, they should allow them to wear They should allow them to wear the fucking AirPod Pros, noise canceling,
Yeah.
or earplugs, or
Well, like it was fun for a long time. It was just the refreshing tournament where fans could let loose, but nobody really ever crossed the line. Like I think last year, like I said, was the peak of the perfect balance of rowdiness to where it's refreshing and it's different from every tournament. It's way more rowdy than all the other tournaments, but no one was extremely disrespectful.
yeah. No,
You
I
know?
agree.
And it was like contained to the one hole. It was just contained to 16. Right. Even this year, Ricky Fowler had a putt on 16 for birdie. He's hyping up the crowd, having them cheer in his fucking putting stroke. So it's like, that's fine. Where like, if he's encouraging it, but like, dude, just keep quiet, keep it to one hole. Like, you're fine.
Like I think that's one of the sickest things about golf is how quiet you can get 100,000 people until a putt drops. And then I think that's one of the coolest noises ever is when it's silence and then everyone erupts.
Yeah.
And if everyone is just loud and drunk and obnoxious the whole time, I don't know. It's frustrating a little bit, especially because I'm super anti shrink the game. And now this just screams shrink the fucking game.
For sure.
Yeah.
It also gives it gives Liv a lot of firepower because their slogan is what, golf but louder.
Yeah.
And they have fucking DJs at the tee boxes, and like these guys are playing in what's essentially a toned down waste management, almost weekly or monthly or whatever it is. But then I just saw Rahm getting pissed off at the Live Las Vegas tournament for people. So it's like the more like Liv is kind of encouraging it, which is not a great thing.
Do you think they will after this? Do you think they're going to tone it down?
They'll never get that many people in a stadium for them.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
they'll never get 500,000.
But that like Liv is they're trying to take the pedestal of like the party hole, like Waste Management 16. It's just not going to happen.
No.
You can't just promote something like that and expect it to work out. This is just like Waste Management 16 just, I feel like, happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it just happened naturally to where like that's the hole that people are going to flock to. They're going to drink a lot of alcohol and they're going to be fucking rowdy. And that's what it is. And you just can't.
Yeah. Liv can't you can't say I'm the cool mom and be the cool mom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was, I mean, obviously me on my couch, I was having a heyday looking through Twitter, seeing all these people sliding down hills, not purposely, but like fucking slipping in the mud.
Well,
and
some did it purposely. Like,
yeah.
So that video of the people like sliding down through the money.
Yep.
Have you seen that? That was right underneath where we were sitting on 17.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there was people. I think it was on 17. Remember we were sitting up in that box on 17.
That hill right underneath that box is where the people were sliding down and getting the money.
Yep.
I
also saw people up where we were sitting pouring beers down to people on the ground and like them trying to catch it in their mouth. Fucking nuts, dude. So I don't know. I would love to say, hey, this is what Waste Management should do. Number one, they should account for something like this with the infrastructure and all that.
Fire the security team.
Security team.
They need to have.
Yeah, get the FBI and the National Guard in there as your security.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this might have been the tipping point. So now next year, I think it may go a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, either they're going to nail it next year or they're going to completely overcorrect and Waste Management will become just another PGA event.
What do you think? Like, what does Waste Management get out of this business wise? Like what?
Just name recognition.
It's not like people are going home after the tournament and be like, hello, yes, whatever garbage company. I would like to switch to the green and yellow. I'm going to switch to Waste Management. So if you can come pick my cans up, I'm going to be switching to Waste Management.
Plus, it's kind of one of those weird things too, where it's like Waste Management is only available in like certain areas. Like, is Waste Management available in Fargo?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have Waste Management.
Okay. Yeah. But like, I mean, 3 towns out west, Waste Management is there. It's going to be Joey's Sanitation or whatever, you know?
So yeah, Steve's Sanitation out at the lake.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Brown cans.
Yeah.
The people that I just want to talk about the one dude that jumped out of the stands on 16 and then jumped into the bunker.
Broke his neck. Not literally, but looked like it.
He tore both his ACLs though.
Jesus.
You see the other angle of that? So like the first video I saw, you see him jump from the back and you see him land from the back in the bunker and you can't see his legs. If you find the other angle of that, where it's from his face jumping into the bunker. Both his knees bend just straight backwards.
Oh,
and he's so fucked up that he just continues to run, but he's like all like
pigeon-toed,
like
baby calf.
Yeah, baby calf walking.
Jesus.
He tore something in both knees. It's just the most unathletic jump into the. Why are you jumping in the fucking bunker anyway?
A sand softer landing, I think.
Yeah, well, it really worked out for him.
Yeah.
One of these years, I do wanna make the run from the gate to 16 at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
I'm too old for that.
I had 2 of my friends do that on Thursday.
Really?
Yep.
Did they get a seat?
Yep.
Were they how deep were they in the line?
I don't know. I just saw that video on their Snap story and they're sprinting down, and then I saw them at the 16 hole.
See, this is something I would like to get like an aerial view of the course just to know exact route.
Yeah, not enough aerial coverage this weekend. I'll
No,
say that.
no,
Yeah, what's up
Yeah,
with that?
the
Yeah.
crowd shot the drones down.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Well, I guess we'll see. Probably a good year to not go. Weather was shitty, and the tournament was a shit show.
Yep.
A lot of
Yeah.
shit going on.
Watching the Waste Management this weekend made me like strongly think about going to like a normal golf event,
Like the 3M Open in the
3M
city.
Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
John
maybe
Deere
let's check out the
Classic.
Genesis
Yeah, the JD.
Invitational. you
Yep. Yep.
know? Just because, yeah, you can have some drinks there. You can do
Yep.
all the same thing. There's just no.
There's less
open-
people.
Yeah,
And I honestly, I like less people. It's like you don't get the anxiety doesn't spike and you don't feel claustrophobic, fucking crush system or whatever you called it.
yeah, crowd crushes.
Crowd crushing.
We're getting old, guys.
Yeah.
Getting old.
All right, let's switch gears over to obviously some of the biggest news in golf. I hit it. I hit the timing perfectly just on accident last night. Popped into a live video of Sunday Red, Tiger's new clothing and accessories line officially getting launched yesterday. We're filming this on Tuesday, so it got launched Monday. And I saw the post. From this past weekend where it said like 2.12.23, like a new chapter begins or something on Tiger's page. And I'm looking throughout the day. I'm like, when the fuck is this announcement coming? Came last night. Sunday Red is official. The logo, all of the different styles of logo. I mean, that's exactly what we had pulled up on the pod a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which surprised me.
Really?
Because did you guys, when Tiger was up on stage, did you see the logo that was on his like pullover?
I wasn't watching the stream,
It was the SRD
really?
in like the triangle with the tiger.
the one that I think I said, yeah, they're never going to use that.
No, I thought it was a joke. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
using it. So
good.
it's just the tiger, it's the SRD, and then it's like the sun day red.
Yeah.
So, not to brag, got on the socials real quick.
I don't know if I'd brag about this either way.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
First TikTok follower on the Sunday Red account.
Big fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
You like it?
No, I no, him
Oh,
being the first one.
I'm asking about the brand.
No, I like the sweatshirt. It was like just the
Yep.
logo, no
I agree.
SDR.
Yep.
Like keeping it just like the Tiger logo, like just that image that it had of it. They're doing like shoes, head covers, gloves. They're doing everything of it.
The
It is
shoes
insane.
actually look kind of dope.
I didn't see it close. I just saw a quick glimpse and I was like, maybe.
The shoes look like every pair of shoes I see the old guys wearing in the nursing home. Just like the weird black loafer almost.
With the Velcro ones?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not Velcro golf shoes, but
Yeah.
the vibe is the same.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked, to be completely honest, was the black sweatshirt. The black sweatshirt is sweet.
Black sweatshirt's dope. And you know what? When does this launch? May 1st? I will, if I have what?
You gonna buy something?
Yeah, that's where I'm getting.
No shot.
It'll be sold out immediately.
No, that's where I'm getting. If I am able to, and if I get in early enough, I'll get fucking right on time.
You need a bot.
I'm gonna buy
Sweet.
I'm gonna buy everything I possibly can
really?
Mm.
What?
because I want to. What do you mean? What, Trevor?
Why?
I want to. It's fucking Tiger Woods' clothing line.
I mean, Trevor,
It doesn't matter what like everything else. Throw it out the window. It's Tiger Woods' first clothing line he's ever done in his entire life and career.
Are you gonna resell it
No, I'm gonna keep it.
and then resell it?
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna wear it. If you can't tell me that regardless of the logo, people aren't going to go on and sell the fucker out in 30 seconds, you're wrong.
They will.
They're gonna sell like hockey. They're gonna make so much fucking money.
No, 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's 30 gonna be seconds. So far gone.
And I think being in the merchandise space, I have a good feeling that this stuff, yes, it might not look the coolest, but it's gonna wear the best.
The thing that like I thought this was gonna be a little cooler, to be honest. I
did too. The TW would have been sweet.
There's nothing about like the Tiger logo is unique, and I do like the Tiger. I'm coming around on the Tiger logo by itself, but like even the designs on the polos, there's nothing unique. Mm-hmm. It's just the same polo as every other golf company on the planet.
Yep.
On the main red polo, the fucking patch they use in the promo isn't centered. It's sewn on wrong. Unless they're trying to
on the red polo,
yeah,
it's right at the bottom of the buttons.
It's not though. It's off to the wrong. It's like 2 millimeters off, and it's weirdly noticeable that they sewed it on wrong. It wasn't intentional. Mm-hmm. If it was intentional, it's weird as shit.
Okay, yeah. So, and I've been through situations like that with merchandise we've created with manufacturers, and the one thing I noticed was the neck tag on the red polo was like very jaggedly cut and sewn on there. And so, yes, I want to say that this will wear really nice, but after seeing fine details like that, it may bring me closer to the middle.
We also don't know a price tag on any of this stuff too.
No,
honestly, it could be if it's an affordable like golfwear brand where like, cause there are some golf brands out there that are $120 for a polo, which is fucking asinine in my opinion.
But then if you put a really good price point on it, does it just become a Greg Norman style?
Which is, I mean, it's fine. They can do whatever they want.
I love Greg Norman shit.
I mean,
but people also like, but you can't put Tiger and Greg Norman in the same category, whether that's golf or apparel.
Zoom in on the fucking tag, dude. It's just a little off and it bugs me so much.
Yeah, I might just, no, you're right, because there is an edge that like overlaps the button seam.
Yep. And it's every picture of that polo, even the close-ups of it.
Do you see the black camo polo?
Yep.
Dude, I like that one a lot. Actually, I can.
Oh no, I've seen the green one.
The green one didn't have anything though, did it? With like the.
It doesn't have anything. It's just like a normal looking polo.
I don't dislike that, right? Yeah. But it's just there's nothing unique about it other than Tiger's logo, and it's too small.
Yep.
And not centered.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be really interested to see what the price point is on all this stuff. I can't.
If I had to guess, I bet you would run. I'm going to say it's probably going to be $85, $95 for a polo.
Yeah.
I don't see Tiger jacking it up and making it like $150 a polo like some golf brands are.
I was going to say $60 a polo. For a hoodie, I'd probably say 70 to 80 a hoodie.
That's cheap.
For these zip ups, the zip ups were probably going to be closer 90 to 100.
Then shoes and gloves.
I bet shoes will be like 120, 130. Gloves will probably be the classic like $30.
Yeah.
Those are just my rough guesses.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. What you think you'd do?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty interesting too, because TaylorMade doesn't really have a really solid foothold in the golf apparel industry. Like when I think of nice golf clothes, I'm not gonna go and get a TaylorMade right away. You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah, and I do feel like just looking at it, I mean, you'd have to think that these are some of the best like merchandisers in the golf space. But the whole lineup, like, not to pat myself on the back, but like we could have came up and sourced something like that pretty fucking easy.
Yeah.
There's obviously the name behind it, so you need that.
Yeah.
But if you even like throw in the You Betcha name behind something, like we could have created something very, very similar. So I hope it fits and wears the best any other polo or zip up or hoodie does. But it doesn't look that way.
Yeah. There's also like the angle of there's never been a Tiger brand before, and TaylorMade also doesn't do very well in the golf space.
Nike did a whole Tiger brand.
Yeah, there's his TW hat.
I understand, but I'm saying from like a sales perspective, it's really tough for them to know how much like Merchandise Tiger is going to be able to move with just his name and his recognition.
It's gonna be
and so I would not be surprised if they like started things off very general or very broad or had like a very like minimal catalog to start things off with, because
the catalog,
as we know with
huge.
Everything, products are going to get trickle released once a month for the next 5 years with this stuff. And so what the brand looks like now is not what the brand is going to look like in 2 years and 3 years, whatever, it's.
Well, and what makes me think that this is maybe was rushed was the launch date is May 1st. So we're still March, April, we're still 2.5 months away.
Yeah.
To where they can go back. Okay, here are all the comments. Not a whole lot of positive
Those goddamn breakfast ball guys hate the letters SDR. We better get rid of those.
Yeah.
Center of the patch thing.
Center of the fucking patch. Yeah.
You're right. That patch is off. How did we not notice that?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Who knows? Maybe these were just like haven't went into mass production yet, and these are just like the samples that they had finalized with some tweaks to put into the mass production. I don't know.
We'll see.
I will. I'll buy some. I probably won't buy the shoes, but I'll for sure buy the glove. I'll probably buy the hoodie, and we'll see how it all come May. Let's say middle of May. We'll do a review on it.
This is this Tiger brand for me is going to become Yeti. I will never purchase one myself, but I would not be mad if it was like given to me as a gift.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. At a lesser price point than Yeti.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, yeah, we don't know. The shoes could be 220, 230.
Yep.
And there's probably going to be great resale value. Trevor, no, I'm going to keep it.
You can buy the same shoes at Walmart, wear them to the nursing home.
You can wear flats like I did. Flats work just fine.
Or no shoes.
Or barefoot.
Oh, here's the reason why they weren't able to get Sunday Red as in first name, as in like a 2 words split thing. Someone else already has it trademarked.
Right, but I mean,
like the word Sunday as the day,
as Sunday Red, 2 words is trademarked for merchandise already.
That sucks. You'd think TaylorMade and Tiger could fork over to buy that.
Exactly. I mean, people pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for domains. Another thing too, I mentioned this before the pod, the Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Sun_day_red is like an 8th grade Hotmail or MSN account name.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't let's fork over 5-10 grand, get Sunday Red, all one word, and be done with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I hope whoever owns that trademark holds out and gets a lot of cash for it one day.
Yep. Until the TaylorMade eminent domain crew come rolling in.
Yeah.
Give them $6 million.
Well, let's wrap it up, boys.
Yeah. We'll be back May 1st.
Sim League playoffs start. Quick update. Me and Jared beat the shit out of Trevor.
Okay. I wouldn't say beat the shit out of him.
We tied score-wise.
Let's go.
But it was skin scoring, and Jared and I won 6-3.
Dang.
Jared.
Last hole blow up.
Absolute clutch job. Sinks. And it's hard to sink putts in the simulator.
Oh, yeah.
Jared sinks 4 putts in a row.
Lethal.
And the gimme's 10 foot. So 10 foot plus 10.1 plus foot putts.
We get our asses beat if Jared's putter isn't on. Because I didn't make a single one of those putts.
I also don't think Jared understands how fucking good his putter is.
Yeah.
He's so new at golf that for him to be sinking 4 10-footer pluses in a row, he has no frame of reference as to how good
on a
that
simulator.
is.
We don't even we just threw the simulator up so we could play, and we haven't really perfected it either. That screen isn't center. Like the it's not tight, so like there's waves on the green, and Jared was just sinking them left. His putting stroke is atrocious.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've made 4 putts on the sim all season.
Right.
Yep.
And Jared made 4 in a row to win us the toilet bowl. Now playoffs start. Ryan has locked up the 1 seed. Jake and I play first round of playoffs.
Nice.
So I'm going to need you to pick a game soon or a course. So
Okay.
Also, Jack, my partner Jack, teenager Jack, he put on he was clutch yesterday.
he was.
And also it's round robin. There's 6 teams, so you play the other 5 teams regular season. The last week we are matched up against Miles and Jade. Winner takes the number 1 seed. They're watching us the entire round. Jack doesn't do well with shit like that.
No,
so when they walked up, I'm like,
Miles and I actually talked on the balcony before he went down there. He's like, "Are they playing right now?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "Fuck, this is an important game." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet if you go stand by Jack, he'll implode."
And Jack was
and then he did it.
Jack was so clutch. How does it work out that the week we play Miles and Jade, we play at Miles's home course on the simulator?
Yeah, I did that on purpose because I've also played it. It was catering to the commish. It doesn't matter. You beat him on his home turf.
We did.
You won the away game.
We did.
Yeah, I will fully admit that I picked Oxbow because it's the only course on GS Pro that I've played. And I was tired of people bitching about the course selection. It's like, well, I just picked the closest course to home.
I think there's only been one team bitching, and that's been Jade and Miles.
And Jake. Trevor's bitched about a course or 2 before.
Just the one.
Which one?
I can't remember. I think it was week 2.
Yep, because I got stuck in a tree.
Yeah.
Eagles Landing or Eagles Nest or whatever.
The most frequent complaint is about course selection. So
I've been fine with it, Tyler. It's just like,
Ryan, you
got to play the course.
You haven't complained at all.
I just had one. That's all I had.
Yeah, I keep receipts.
So yeah, we lock up the number 1 seed, which is huge because every matchup we have going forward, we get to choose the game or we get to choose the course. And I tell you what, we're going to choose the fucking game every time. This next round, I'll already, if Blair and Noah are listening, if they beat Trevor and Hannah, we're going total score. Combined total.
Tyler, one thing I'd like to see next year was we should mix in a pitch and putt week. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
You mean we could do that? I mean, Jared and I would pick we're going to pick an easy course because you guys are going to pick a hard game.
That's probably true. You guys
par 3 course.
You guys could pick a par 3 course for that would help out your guys' game.
That's not a bad
pretty
idea.
immensely, actually.
Every course on GS Pro is up for grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea, Tyler. You're welcome. Free cheese for you.
I was literally just said it.
I'm going to pick the longest course I possibly can.
Jesus.
8,000 yards.
Okay.
Combined total 8,000 yards. We'll win by 20.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, ladies and gents. We'll be back next week. It was a loaded episode this week. Maybe we'll have some more come out on the waste management. Maybe they'll cancel it for next year.
You never know.
Who knows what fucking
or they'll change it to the Steve Sanitation Open.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was Steve right now, I would be absolutely
licking my chops.
Licking my chops.
Chomping at the bit right now.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
They piped that the wrong way.
I'll call the clubhouse. We'll book in another 18 for tomorrow.
Okay, they cheated on that. They fluffed their balls.
Yeah, no better time for the breakfast ball than now.